Hello everyone, I'm Paul and today we are solving problem 2943. Maximize area of square hole in grid. This is medium and the key to solve this is observation, so let's start. We are given a grid with horizontal and vertical bars. The size of this grid is given by these two variables, n and m. We have n plus 2 amount of rows and m plus 2 amount of columns. And we are given these two variables, horizontal bars and vertical bars. These correspond to bars that we can choose to remove. So if we have two free in horizontal bars, we can choose to remove these two bars. And if we have two 4 in vertical bars, we can choose to remove these two bars. And every other bar that's not here is fixed. For this example, vertical bar number 3 is fixed. We can't remove this. And we need to return the area of the largest square that we can find. So this is 1 square and the area here is 1. Remember how we get the area of a square? We do side times side. So if we do this in this example, the area is 1. But we need to return the area of the largest square. So maybe you are thinking about taking all of this, but this is not a square, this is a rectangle. So the largest possible square with this input is either this one, this one, this one, or this one. And in every case here, the area is 2 times 2, meaning 4. So for this example, we return 4. Let's say that we are given this and every bar here is fixed except for these two. We are scanning this from top to bottom to check what's the maximum possible gap that we can find vertically. So we find this bar, which we can remove, and this means that now this space is available. Here we have a fixed bar, and this is in between this and these bars. This means that we can't expand this space. So because of this, we have this space available also. Now, what if we have this? Here we have two consecutive horizontal bars. So we can remove this, now this space is available, and we can also remove this. So we have all of this available. And this is the key for the problem. We are looking for the maximum number of consecutive bars. Let's say that we have one more bar up here which we can remove, meaning the gap up here is this. Now, given that this gap is smaller than this one, we actually don't care about this. You will see why in a few seconds. Now let's say that we have these 3 vertical bars. If we do the same, we are looking for the largest amount of consecutive bars. Well, here we have 1, so in the gap in this case is this, and here we have 2 consecutive bars. So the largest gap for this side is this. Given that we are trying to find the largest possible square, we are looking for the largest intersection point between these 2 largest gaps. And it's right here. We have this big square available. So in this case, this is the result. And here you can see why we are looking for the 2 largest gaps. If we take this and this instead, now we can form either this square or this one. And as you can see, this is smaller than our biggest square, and that's because of this gap, which is not the largest. Now, what if we have one more horizontal bar here? This means that the largest gap on this side is this. And now if we combine these 2 gaps, we get this big rectangle. But we are looking for squares. So how can we get the largest square within this rectangle? Remember how we get the area of a square? We do side times side. So we can look for the minimum side among these 2. So we take the minimum between the amount of consecutive bars that we have here, meaning 2 plus 1, that's how we get the length of this side, and the amount of consecutive bars here plus 1. Here we have 3, so this is 3 plus 1. The minimum between 2 plus 1 and 3 plus 1 is this, so we can return 3 times 3. Remember that we need to return the area, so finally we return 9 in this case. And this corresponds to the area of either this square or this one. Time complexity here is big O of the number of horizontal bars times log horizontal bars. This is because we need to sort bars. Remember that we need to get the maximum number of consecutive bars. So we need to sort horizontal bars and we need to sort vertical bars. So we need to add the number of vertical bars log the amount of vertical bars. So this is the full time complexity, and space complexity here will be big O of h plus b, because remember that this is required for sorting. So with this in mind, now let's go with the code. First, we can get the number of horizontal and vertical bars. These are initially the length of h bars and the length of b bars. Now we need to sort these bars. So h bars dot sort and b bars dot sort. Now we have to store the maximum number of consecutive horizontal bars. So we'll have a variable max h, and this is initially 1. In the constraints it says that we can have at least 1 horizontal bar, so we start from 1, and we are iterating horizontal bars from index 1, so it's very important to start from 1. And just to be clear, this is the maximum number of consecutive horizontal bars. Now we will say that current is 1, and here we are storing the accumulated number of consecutive horizontal bars at every step. So now we can iterate these horizontal bars from index 1, so for I in range from 1 to hb, and here we say if h bars at the previous index I minus 1 plus 1 is equal to h bars at I, we can add 1 to current, so current plus equal 1, else we can reset current back to 1. And every time we want to store the maximum number, so this is the maximum between what we already have here and current. Now we need to do the same for horizontal bars, so we can just copy this, and max b is initially 1, and this is the maximum number of consecutive vertical bars. We start from 1 and we are iterating everything from index 1. This is VB, and here we say B bars, and this is B bars also. So we want to store the maximum value at every point. We are doing basically the same. Finally, we can return the minimum side, meaning the minimum between max h and max b, and we need to add 1 to this to get the side, because remember that this is the number of consecutive bars. We need to add 1 to get the length of the side, and we need to return an area, so we do side times side, meaning this square. So this is the entire code. Now let's submit this. As you can see, this works and it's very efficient. So if you found this useful, please drop a like, subscribe, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.